Imagine this. You're talking to a woman. She doesn't say she cares. She doesn't need to, because her eyes speak for her. Because of the soft laugh that escapes even when you haven't said anything funny. Because of the light touch on your hand in the middle of a conversation, as if she's asking, "Do you see me?" Many men spend their whole lives chasing clear affirmations, but what women truly express lies in the silent moments. This video isn't a list of tips, it's a mirror to help you see more deeply into the signs that have always been there, only you missed them. If you've ever wondered, is she really attracted to me? Watch this video till the end, because maybe the answer has been right in front of you, all along. Part 1. Louder than words. I once sat alone in a small coffee shop in Seattle on a grey afternoon. The rain fell steadily, trailing long streaks down the window. The shop wasn't too crowded, not too noisy, just the sound of the espresso machine, spoons clinking against cups, and a few quiet conversations. I chose a table by the window, not for the light, but because from there I could observe the stories unfolding without stepping into them. At the table across from me, a young couple was talking, not loudly, no bursts of laughter or exaggerated gestures. But something about the girl made me pause. She didn't speak much, but every time the man said something, her eyes clung to him. Not the scrutinizing kind of gaze, but a gentle, silent look, as if she wanted to stretch that moment just a bit longer. She nodded slightly, lips pressed in a soft smile, and occasionally leaned in, as if every cell in her body was listening. Neither of them touched the other. No words of love, no promises. But I'm certain that if you asked whether the girl was drawn to him, the answer had long been clear, just not in words. In moments like that, words become unnecessary. Eyes are where feelings first pass through. Body language, the lean in, the slow glances, the gentle hand swirling a coffee cup. These are the subtle but real signs. And the laughter, not loud, not long, escapes simply because the other person is there, not because anything was especially funny. Many men ask, "How do I know if she likes me?" But the truth is, if you need to ask, maybe you're not still enough to notice what's already clear. The warmth of her presence when she's beside you. Because when a woman truly cares, she doesn't need to prove it. She simply shows up. Part 2. When a woman feels safe, she becomes honest. In America, where life runs on the speed of schedules, unread messages, deadlines, and endless Zoom calls, true presence has become rare. People are always in a rush, rushing to check their phones, rushing to glance at the clock, rushing to look away when silence comes. In that kind of world, a woman who sits still, who doesn't reach for her phone, who doesn't fidget with her glass just to have something to do, who doesn't mask her unease with a forced smile, and simply sits there, facing you. That is something extraordinary. She doesn't need to say she feels safe. It shows in how she relaxes into the moment, in how she doesn't fix her hair, doesn't calm herself with small talk, but just lets things flow, because with you, there's no need for pretense. When a woman leans toward you, it's not just physical closeness. It's a deep message. I can drop my guard. I don't have to hold it together. And in a society that trains everyone to impress, to be interesting, her allowing herself to be ordinary, to be real, is the strongest sign that she trusts you. That's not something you can fake or demand. You can't make someone feel safe, but you can become the kind of presence that makes defenses unnecessary. Not through cleverness or charm, but through the stillness in your being. A kind of presence that doesn't rush to react, doesn't rush to judge, doesn't rush to fix. Many men long to hear a clear confirmation. I like you. But sometimes that confirmation arrives in another form. Staying. when she doesn't have to do anything to keep you and isn't afraid you'll walk away. When, among all the places she could go, she chooses to stay with you, quietly, fully, and truthfully. Part 3. Unconscious gestures are the deepest invitations. I still remember one time, during a business trip to New York, I was sitting in a small bar in the Lower East Side. The lighting was dim, soft jazz drifted through the clinking of glasses, and the air was thick with the scent of old wood mixed with strong liquor. At the table in front of me, a young woman and a man were talking. It seemed they hadn't known each other for very long. Their gazes were still cautious, their conversations still probing. But there was something about the girl I couldn't ignore. She adjusted her hair 3 times in under a minute. Each time he laughed, as if by reflex, she lifted her hand to her hair, gently brushed it back, lowered it, then raised it again. There was no mirror, no obvious reason. It wasn't a mindless habit. It was instinct, a subtle way women express their growing awareness of your presence in their space. When they begin to want to appear more beautiful in your eyes. No one taught them to do this. No one says, when he laughs, fix your hair. But the body has its own memory. It knows when the heart skips a beat. It knows when a gaze is worth noticing. And so the smallest gestures, fixing her hair, smoothing her blouse, lightly biting her lip, become invitations that words cannot convey. Just like when she touches your hand in the middle of a conversation, a touch so light you're not even sure if it was intentional, but you feel it. Not on your skin, but somewhere deeper, as if she were erasing an invisible line between the two of you, saying, I want to be a little closer. We often look for grand signals, for clear actions, but genuine attraction rarely arrives in fireworks. It comes in small tremors, in the awkwardness, in the clumsy gestures, in the way she makes you realize, even without words, something is beginning to spark. And if you're attentive enough, present enough, you'll notice she's opening a door, quietly but deeply. Part 4. When questions are no longer just small talk. There are questions that seem simple, but actually carry a door into someone's inner world. When a woman looks at you and asks, how's your family? That isn't just politeness or a way to fill silence. It's an invitation, not for information, but for intimacy. People only truly care about your family when they want to understand you from the roots, from where you came from what shaped the person sitting in front of them. Or when she asks, who are you when you're alone? You're not just hearing a question, you're standing before an invitation to reveal a part of yourself that few people have ever asked to see. The part you usually hide behind success stories, behind a calm exterior, behind daily busyness. And that's why questions like these shouldn't be answered too quickly. Because what she's waiting for isn't a clever answer. It's honesty, a piece of you she hasn't seen but hopes to touch. Women don't open up easily. They've learned to guard themselves after many disappointments. They know which stories are safe to tell and which feelings to hide. So when you're asked about things deeper than surface level, you are being offered an honor, the chance to step into a space where most people only linger at the edge. The problem is, many men hear but don't listen. They answer reflexively, as if passing an interview. They don't realize that in that moment, what's being sought isn't data, it's connection. It's the feeling of, I truly want to understand you. If you're attentive, you'll slow down. You'll look into her eyes, breathe a beat slower, and respond with the truest part of who you are. Because when you're invited into a woman's inner world, don't rush in, walk softly, and treasure it as one of the rarest gifts she could ever offer you. Part 5. Awkwardness is the truest expression. She may be the kind of woman who makes an entire room fall silent when she walks in. Confident, composed, knowing what she wants and unafraid to speak her mind. At work, she coordinates everything seamlessly. In conversations, she leads with intelligence and grace. To the outside world, she is the embodiment of control. But when it's just the two of you and her, everything seems to shift. She starts to fumble. A sentence that should be simple suddenly makes her pause. Her words stumble, her eyes unsure where to rest, her hands twisting a strand of hair before letting it go, only to reach for it again. Some might mistake it for clumsy nervousness, but in truth, it's the most genuine sign of someone who truly cares. Because when real emotion shows up, you can't perform anymore. Those mental suits of armor, sharpness, confidence, control, suddenly become unnecessary. Not because she feels weak, but because she doesn't need to be strong. She's not trying to steer the conversation, not trying to craft an image. She's simply herself, in all her vulnerability, honesty, and aliveness. That awkwardness, then, shouldn't be judged. It should be cherished, because it's the moment when that woman is placing her trust in you, enough to let herself relax, enough not to worry about appearing perfect, enough to allow herself to feel nervous in the presence of something that matters, you. Many men fail to see the value in that. They look for assertiveness, clarity, certainty, and miss what's unfolding right in front of them. That when a strong woman becomes awkward in your presence, you haven't just caught her attention, you've touched her. And maybe you're reaching a place within her that few ever have. Conclusion. Don't be quick to ask whether she loves you, because true feelings don't always come with words. They show up in silent gazes, in awkward hands, in a presence that doesn't need justification. A woman who truly cares isn't trying to impress you. She's just there, as herself. And that, more than anything, is the deepest form of confession. If you're still enough, if you listen deeply, you'll see women aren't drawn to flashy things. They're drawn to safety, a space where they don't have to be guarded. And if you become the man with whom she dares to be honest, to be nervous, to be quietly present, then perhaps you've received something even more precious than love itself, her trust. And that's when you no longer need to ask anything at all. Thank you for joining Daily Stoic, Strong Mindset, wishing you peace and mastery over yourself. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Daily Stoic, Strong Mindset channel to stay updated with more meaningful life lessons. See you in the next video.